Hey folks, Randy here with Doing Cut and Trim. So today's going to be a little bit of a different type of video because there's not really anything to see. This is going to be, I guess, more or less audio only. Um, but some stuff's been going on, and I just figured, I'm not really, my camera's not really accessible at the moment. And I had some stuff I wanted to talk about, and figured I would just start talking, and we'll see what happens. So I'm recording this on January 14th. And I got to be honest, man. I think the 2020 lawn season is shaping up to be a pretty wild one for dual cut and trim. We offer a prepayment option for customers. If they want to prepay for the season in the month of January, we give them a discount. And because of some investments that I wanted to make in the business, like a brand new mower and uh, um, some other equipment. We upped the discount a little bit to 15%. And I got to be honest, I've been completely blown away by the number of customers that have opted to take advantage of this. As it stands right now, and we're halfway through the month, I think we're not quite triple the number of customers that are taking advantage of this compared to last year, but it's getting close to triple. And we've got another, as it stands right now, another four or five that we're communicating with and working out the details. And so it's pretty incredible, actually, to be honest with you. I mean, it looks like we'll be able to pay cash for a Bradley Stander, and we'll probably pull the trigger on that purchase. I'm guessing in February. I don't want to wait too long because I don't want to wait till the season's like about to start and then get backed up because Bradley's got a million people trying to get mowers from him. I've been in communication with Bradley because honestly, I keep going back and forth between the 36-inch walk behind versus the 36-inch stander. They've been giving me information, like I've been emailing and actually chatting with them on their website, and because since I everything goes in the back of my truck, there are weight concerns, so I found out that the 36-inch hydro walk behind is 750 pounds, and the 36-inch stander is 1,000 pounds, which I was a little concerned about putting 1,000 pounds in the back of that truck when it's already. I mean, the bed is already really heavy. But I was talking to my cousin, who's the guy that welded that sucker up for me, and he said, it should be fine. He said, you're gonna have to definitely put more air in those airbags, but it'll be fine. And so, like, I'm leaning towards the stander. I think that would be the wiser option. Um, Although the stander will be about, I don't know, probably be about $1,000 more, I think, when it's all said and done. So I'm really leaning towards the stander. I keep trying to talk myself back into the walk behind, but honestly, I think the stander is the smarter way to go. 36-inch stand-on mower will, it's faster. Bradley told me that I'm acting like I was talking to some guy named Bradley. I don't know who I was talking to, but the guy I was talking to, he told me that the walk behinds have like a max speed of 5 miles an hour, while the standers have a max speed of 10. And I was like, well, you know, most of the lawns that I have, I'm never going to be going 10 miles an hour on them. But some of the bigger yards, like I do have a 3/4 acre and a 1 acre property that probably still wouldn't get up to 10, but it would get close. There's one is just literally a square, and man, the thought of being able to go 10 miles an hour on that sucker is pretty awesome. Um, so it's just I'm leaning towards the stander. I'm probably gonna get the stander. It's just the cheap side of me, which you guys know is very, very ever present. really wants to go with the 36-inch walk behind. But I'm gonna press through that. I'm gonna get the stander, and then I think honestly I'm also gonna get the what do you call it? The grass catcher, that steel cage that attaches to the side, um, so that if I need it, that'll be available to me, and it will be really nice come leaf season. I think. Right now we've been doing leaves this year, and I've been using the Toro Time Master for picking up leaves, which I probably will continue to do. I am such a Toro Time Master fan. But the thought of being able to use the stander, like I mean that for picking up leaves and mulching them up and stuff. I mean, I really like the sound of that. So you know the way things are going, the great thing is because as you guys know, I don't take on any debt when it comes to I don't finance anything, so we'll be paying cash for this. So the stander, the 36-inch stander, I believe they're selling for 4,200. Then shipping's another 400, and the grass catcher is another like 220, but I don't know what the shipping is for that. So I'm looking at probably about 5,000 bucks that I'm gonna have to pay them. Honestly, I really, really would like to just like drive over there and get it. Um, but short of like making that like a YouTube video, which honestly I don't know how interested people would be, um, it would end up costing me about the same, but there would be, about 1,400 miles round trip of wear and tear that would go on my truck. So I would still end up spending probably about 400 bucks, but I don't know. I guess there would be a video. Is that something you guys would be interested in if you actually are still with me at this point in the video? Would you be interested in seeing like a video like touring the Bradley factory or something? I don't know. That's something that just popped into my head. Might be interesting, but I don't know. I don't know. Something to keep in the back of your head, or back of my head, I should say. Um, but anyway, uh, one of the things that's been kind of trippy about these prepayments is, and this is leading into another thing that's been going on, is my phone has actually been ringing. Um, I can tell you for me, going back the last 3 or 4 years, my phone usually stops ringing in November and literally does not ring again until sometime in March. And that's literally the truth. Like I could disconnect my phone and not miss any calls. It's pretty wild how consistent that's been. But this year, I've been getting calls and emails from customers. I had a HOA reach out to me, I've been in communication with them. But I've had a couple of customers, and not only have I had a couple, well, I should say leads. I've had a couple leads reach out and then converted into customers. They've prepaid, which honestly kind of blew my mind. I mean, the one, excuse me, one, I think, because they're both biweeklies. The one, I think it was like 500, over 500 bucks that she paid, and the other was around 700. These people have never even met me, and in at least one, well, in one instance, I don't think they even knew I existed 2 days before they paid all that money. The other one, I found out after he had signed up that he actually was a referral from one of the customers I picked up last year, which I very, very much appreciated. There's some vehicle around here somewhere that's like making really loud noises. They got like one of those dumb mufflers where it's like pops a lot, like it's really annoying. I don't know why people think that's cool. I don't think it is at all. But so anyway, but it's kind of freaked me out. Not freaked me out, but it's just it's mainly making me take seriously the fact that we've built enough trust in our community, in our area, where people are comfortable handing us large amounts of money for work that's not even going to happen for another 3 months. And they're trusting that it's going to get done. Now, honestly, there's no reason for them not to trust that it would get done, but honestly, like, I'm just trying to think if there's a situation where I would do that, you know. Uh, it's uh, it's just an interesting thing, you know. I mean, I'm grateful for it, you know, because it's allowing me to, you know, pay for equipment that otherwise I would have to save in a lot longer to pay for. Which actually brings up something that one of you guys commented on in a recent video. The video I did, I guess a week ago maybe, where I was discussing, you know, this prepayment thing that we're doing, and somebody commented, and it was kind of a funny comment, and I wish I could pull it up right now, but I'm recording this on my phone. And the guy was like, "Hey, not trying to be a troll or anything, but you know, you say you don't take on any debt, but isn't this kind of like you're taking on a loan? You know, customers can prepay, but they get a 15% discount. So isn't this kind of like taking on? Isn't this kind of like a loan in a weird way? You know, the 15% interest rate. You know, and." You know, short version is, I mean, yeah, kinda. You know, that guy definitely has a point. And actually, if you watch that video, I think it's around the minute 40 mark when I'm talking about that. You can see it kind of dawn on me that this is kind of like getting a loan, kind of, but not really. I mean, not well. I don't know, man. You know, if I try and justify it, it's not gonna. I'm going to sound like I'm trying to justify it, so I guess I won't even try and explain to you why it's different. I'll just say it's different because it feels different to me. You know, when I take on the last time I took on debt was I put a what is it? I got a car loan for the last truck I owned, and it was a $7,000 loan for a truck that I probably could have got for $2,000 on Craigslist. And I felt the weight of that loan. I hated it. I hated being underneath it, and was so glad when it got paid off. I was able to pay that loan off in how long? How long was it? I don't know. 2.5 years, I think. 2.5 or 3 years. I can't remember. Um, but I hated that loan. I hated being under it. I felt like I really felt viscerally. You know that scripture? Good God, what is it with this guy? I wish whoever this is would leave. I don't even see where that car is. And you guys probably can't even hear it, so I sound like a crazy person. But literally, there's just a vehicle around here going. Vroom, vroom. I wish he would just leave. I lost my train of thought. Daggone it. Oh. So, you know, there's that scripture in the Bible. It says, you know, the borrower is slave to the lender. I believe that's what it says. I probably should have looked that up before I started quoting it, but oh well. And that scripture, like, I really feel that, you know, like, you know, the when I've been in debt, and I still have some debts that I'm paying off. But like I feel it. Like I took out a loan that I'm still working on paying back. This has been a couple years. I literally think about it every single day. It makes me sick inside. I hate it. I hate that I have that loan. I hate that it hasn't been paid off yet. It is something that it eats me up on the inside. And we're working on it, and at some point it'll get paid off. But it just I literally, I every time I think about it, it makes me mad, and it frustrates me, and it upsets me, and makes me feel disappointed in myself. And so, anyway, I guess I'm saying all that to say that when I have customers prepay for the lawn season, I don't feel that way at all. You know, to me, it's like I don't know. It's like when a software company. It's actually software companies do this all the time. They, you know, I use a video editing software sometimes called WeVideo. It's an online software, and they have one payment option where it's like you can pay $10 a month or something to use the software, or you can pay $80 once a year and have access to it. So it's a pretty significant discount. And I don't think they feel bad about that. I think they like having that infusion of capital whenever they offer that deal. And so to me, it's similar to that, where I'm willing to have you give me less money so that I can have a lot of money at one time to invest into the company. Kind of like when people take out a loan. Okay. I guess the difference is because I don't have to give cash back. They're paying for a service that they're definitely going to get from me. So that's why it doesn't bother me as much, I guess. I don't know. I don't need to justify myself to you. Why do I feel like I need to do that? Just kidding. I don't actually feel that way. I just, it's a topic that was on my mind, and so I figured I would share my perspective on it. Excuse me. I'm starting to think this thing actually might be a motorcycle somewhere. I don't know. It's really annoying. Goodness gracious. It's going to be really funny if you guys can't hear that. I might have to go back through and edit all references out. So what else did I want to talk about? I guess in the area of finances. So I was debating whether or not I was going to talk about this because I really try and just any kind of YouTube drama, I really try and stay away from. And I probably am going to end up not talking about this. The more I talk about whether or not I'm going to talk about it, I'm leaning towards not talking about it. But I prefer to stay away from like any kind of drama in YouTube, just because I just don't see the benefit in it. I've seen how some people have benefited from engaging in YouTube drama, but it's just not really something that. It's just to me, it's cheap. It's not interesting. And I'm not calling out people that do weigh in on this stuff. Nothing like that. So I don't think if somebody feels like I'm taking shots at them, I can tell you I'm not. The thing that happened last year, like, well, take for example, it was last year. There was all that stuff with Saving Green Lawn Care and DLT and something about standing against hate and yada yada yada, and I don't know. And it got a lot of folks fired up, like really fired up. And I spent way more time learning about all that drama, way more time than I should have. And honestly, it was mildly interesting. Like actually, it was kind of embarrassing, like how much time I did spend on it. And I noticed a lot of folks took the opportunity to jump in and weigh in on it, on both sides of that, and in at least one example, some folks literally took the opportunity to make their channel explode. Um, you know, uh, but I that wasn't really something I wanted to weigh in because like I felt like if I weighed in on that whole thing, like some of these guys that weighed in on that drama, they were literally starting their videos like, you didn't call me out specifically, but you called out the lawn care community, which I'm a part of, so I guess you did call me out. And it's like, no, they didn't. Calm down. But and it's kind of funny because like that whole thing or drama, I guess, is kind of risen up, I guess, with those guys again, involving how you pay employees, which I thought was kind of funny, to be honest with you. I thought that whole thing was a little weird, and I think it's more or less died down. I think, but I thought that was kind of a funny. It was just an odd thing. Everything about it to me was a little strange. It's really weird whenever a lawn care company or a guy or whatever decides to like weigh in on stuff that's not their expertise, like for the sake of example, there was one time Randy with Dual and Cut and Trim did a video about whether or not you should be a sole proprietorship or an LLC, and some folks disagreed, and later on they made videos about why I was wrong, because I said, might as well be a sole proprietor. And honestly, I still feel that way, but you shouldn't take my word for it. You should talk to somebody who actually knows what they're talking about. you know in my opinion, from what I've heard and from what I've learned, having an LLC, if you're making less than $250,000 a year in revenue, having an LLC is really not worth it. That the protections it offers don't really. It's really easy to pierce the corporate veil and yada yada yada. So you might as well just do a sole proprietorship because it's cheaper and easier. However, don't listen to me. What do I know? I mean, I know very little. Yes, I'm college educated, but it's in child development, so that's not really helping here. So when it comes to like non-lawn care types of things, you really there's no reason to listen. There's no reason to take anything I say seriously. Like if I give you advice about LLCs versus sole proprietorships, you probably shouldn't listen to me. If I'm telling you what kind of truck to get, you probably shouldn't listen to me. If I tell you to W-2 your employees versus 1099, I've never had an employee, like a full-time employee, like, so why would you listen to me? You shouldn't. So this most recent thing is kind of weird because to me, Saving Green did a video about, no, it wasn't even about that. I think it was just part of it, where he and whoever that other guy is were discussing 1099s versus W-2s, and I guess I didn't watch the whole thing, but I guess at some point Saving Green, it'd be helpful if I knew his name. It'd be a lot less weird than just calling him by his channel name. But he had, I guess, says he 1099s his employees, and his CPA told him it's fine, and yada yada yada. I mean, okay, I believe you, but like people lost their minds when they heard that, and folks made videos about it. I know Florida Turf Pros, Jonathan, he's a really cool dude. I like him a lot, but he made a video about it, and Brad of Copper Creek Cuts, who I actually got to meet and I actually talked to from time to time, and he's actually a really good dude. He made a video about it, and saying that well, and actually I think what Brad and Jonathan said is probably absolutely correct as far as interpreting the letter of the law, which is, there's very rarely a situation where somebody's not a W-2. I mean, it's extremely rare. I mean, so many of the rules just make it like impossible. But there's also the implementation of those rules, because I can tell you, I'm not this guy. I'm not talking about me, but I know people who 1099 their employees and have done it for years, and they don't have a problem. But that doesn't mean they won't have a problem at some point, And so, I mean, the bottom line is, if you're going on YouTube to find out information like that, I mean, that's not smart, dude. Like, you shouldn't listen to Saving Green. You shouldn't listen to me. You shouldn't listen to Brad or Jonathan. You shouldn't listen to any of us. We don't know what we're talking about. I mean, when it comes to lawn care stuff, we do. But like when it comes to finances, like you need to talk to an accountant. Like not some lawn care guy. Because you can't trust any of the information. You can't trust the information on the internet anyway. Because no matter what, you can always find somebody on the internet to agree with you. So you can't really trust any of that stuff. So I just thought that whole thing was weird because, like I said, I know guys that 1099 their employees. They don't go around putting it on the internet, though. That wouldn't be a very smart thing to do. So I don't know. I think the whole drama thing is, I don't it, to me it's really annoying. The whole thing is annoying, all of it. I wasn't planning on talking about this, but whatever. I guess we're here. It's all annoying, I mean, because like you end up with a situation where people are taking sides and they're acting in certain ways, and it's like, like I'm not taking sides, like I'm not, like I like I don't particularly enjoy the entertainment style of lawn care videos. Like I just don't. Um, and I don't enjoy watching live streams. So because of that, I don't tend to watch much of DLT Lawn Care or Saving Green or some of these other guys that do those types of videos. But I can tell you, like I've watched Saving Green, like and I just kind of like skip through the mowing parts to just watch him talk. And when he's being serious and discussing the lawn care business, I mean, the guy is very knowledgeable and he has a lot of helpful information to share. And it's a shame that drama gets you into a situation where people don't want to, where that kind of stuff gets lost, because that's the main reason I watch lawn care videos is to learn, and like people act like these are bad people or whatever, but I mean, Saving Green, as far as I can tell, seems like a good dude. Um, Same thing with DLT. Seems like a nice guy. I mean, it's pretty obvious he loves his wife, and seems like a pleasant enough guy. But you just get, you get into the stuff of the internet, and if things can be taken the wrong way, they definitely will be on the internet. So I like them, but if it's going to be like drama type stuff, like I'm just not interested in that, and then on the reverse side, like like I find Lawn Stars funny. Like I like enjoy that channel, but if you're gonna a lot of their videos, at least when I was subscribed to them, a lot of their videos were just parodying DLT and Saving Green, and to me that gets old, and it's just not really my thing. And so I'll check in on the channel from time to time, and I'll watch some of the stuff. But it's like, if you're just talking about people, kind of like I'm doing right now, it gets old. And so I just don't end up watching. But it also becomes like a weird thing. Like I can appreciate Saving Green DLT, and at the same time appreciate like Lawn Stars or like Acme Mowing, who I really enjoy, or I don't know, whoever else, Jonathan with Florida Turf Pros, or Brad with Copper Creek. I can enjoy both sides, and like I don't have to be team this or team that. It's annoying actually because like I'm just gonna be honest, those like SG Ninja shirts or whatever, like I think they look cool. I think it'd be fun to wear one, but like I don't feel like, putting something on and then people being like, oh, you're one of those. And it's like, no, man, I just thought the shirt looked cool. It's just annoying when people get into this whole thing where, taking sides and yada, yada, yada. Because it's just like, who cares? Just making videos on the internet. Who cares? Honestly, who cares? Like, why do you care? Like, since we're talking about stuff that like who cares? Like DLT with the grow streams. Who cares? Why do you care so much? Okay, he does videos where people. Well, I don't want to misrepresent how it works because whatever. He does videos and you can donate, and people donate. Good for him, and good for them. If people want to give him money for like when he's streaming and doing the shout outs and all that fun stuff, then, have at it. Good for you guys. Go for it. I don't care. Shoot, maybe I'll do it. Maybe throw a couple bucks my way. I don't know, man. Excuse me. But I don't know. That stuff's just been that stuff's been on my mind, and I just figured I would share. Because honestly, man, last year when all that drama was going on, I had so many videos I recorded that I just couldn't post because I was like, I really don't want to get involved in all this stuff, and so I just ended up not posting them. Actually, I got one funny video I posted because, like, it became a big thing about people like blocking people and whatever. And it is what it is. I mean, like, Saving Green blocked me a couple of years ago. So I mean, it happens, whatever. But where was I going with that? Oh, but it made me think because like when I was still, my channel was still pretty small, like 150, 200 subscribers, somewhere in there. Blades of Green, is it Blades of Green or Blades of Grass? Johnny, uh, whatever his name is, whatever the channel. I always say it wrong. It's either Blades of Grass or Blades of Green. He's pushing 50,000 subscribers. He's like between 40 and 50, I think. But anyway, he would watch my videos and comment on them, and like that always made me feel so good. And there was one day, I don't know, I was trying to like respond to him or something, and I accidentally blocked him on my channel. And like I felt so bad when that happened because up to this day, he's the only person that I've ever blocked on YouTube. But fortunately, I was able to unblock him, so it ended up being like a non-issue. But I was just like, ah, man, got this like cool guy that's like watching my videos, and I accidentally blocked him, and I was afraid that he knew I'd blocked him. I didn't know how it worked at the time, but I was afraid that he knew. But I don't think he ever found out, because unless he listens to this, because by the time I was able to unblock him within like a couple of days. Like I figured out how to do it. But it was kind of like oh man, really wish I hadn't done that. Uh, but I know people block people on YouTube when people are like mean or rude or whatever. I've never really done that. Like I said, just the one with Johnny, who I unblocked, but I've never blocked people. What I do have though is I have a pretty robust filter that there's certain words that if you say, your comment will get posted, but it'll be hidden. Nobody will see it. The only person that'll see it is me. And I hear people say like, oh, people are so mean on YouTube, and I've even actually had people say like, Randy, you don't know how mean people can be on the internet. And I want to be like, yeah, dude, I do know. I have a channel too. I mean, as it stands now, I'm closing in on the million-minute mark. It's like for watch time, which is kind of crazy. But you know, over the course of that time, people have definitely been less than pleasant. Um, but I just don't make a big deal of it when it happens. I got one video in particular. I got one video in particular where the homophobic comments that are sent my way they're very frequent. I and it's almost kind of my fault. I mean, I'm not going to get into it. You can look it up if you want to, but it has to do with the company I get liability insurance through. Um, it's Hiscox Insurance, and apparently I gave Hiscox a 10 out of 10. And in the comments section, people have informed me that makes me quite gay. So. But I mean, come on, man. I mean, I've had people make fun of me for my weight. I've had people say all kinds of crappy stuff to me on the internet. I mean, it is what it is, But the reason it's not been a big deal with me is because I don't make a big deal out of it. I mean, if somebody says something mean to you online, and then you blast it on whatever social media, and then make a big deal out of it on your YouTube videos, I mean, that's fanning the flames. I mean, that's like dumping, gasoline on the fire. I mean, it's just going to make it so much worse. So it's just better to just ignore it, or just crack a joke in response and just keep it moving. I mean, it's, stuff's not necessary. It's not worth your time and effort to get all fired up about stuff. So just don't. So I spent so much time on this stuff. It's really, really was not my intention. But, I don't know, man. I haven't been on YouTube that much here recently, and I just was like, you know what? Let's just get on there and just start talking and we'll see what happens. You know, I got some videos that I want to do, but it's just a matter of getting it done because, man, I've been so busy. It's like being this busy in the month of January, I'm like, my God, what is going to happen when spring hits? It's going to be insane, man. Excuse me. So like I want to do some videos like I've been partnering with this local lawn company, Billy Goat Lawn Care. We've been partnering on like leaf cleanups through the fall and the beginning of the winter. It's slowed down now, but we've been partnering with that, and that's been really great. And I want to do a whole video on that about partnering with other lawn care companies and different things that we did and how it worked and all that fun stuff. But yeah, man, I don't know. I just wanted to get on here and talk to you guys for a little bit and just kind of say whatever popped into my head. So hopefully that doesn't come back and bite me in the butt. I don't think it will though. The thing is, I like everybody. Like I'm not like walking around here like disliking people or having a problem with people or whatever. Like I genuinely like a lot of the people that I've interacted with on YouTube. I mean, Brad with Copper Creek, really, really good dude. Really, really glad I got to meet him at GIE this past year. And, Ben with Acme Mowing seems like a really good guy. I haven't met him in person, but I've interacted with him online several times. And, Johnny and I don't know, whoever else. But, oh man, I guess let me guys, if you've made it this far, good for you. I appreciate it. But if you've made it this far, what do you guys think about this? Was this something you enjoyed? Is this something you would listen to? Where I just kind of get on here and just talk until I run out of stuff to say. I'd love to hear some feedback on this because I don't know. This was cathartic. I enjoyed this. This was good for me. Was it good for you? I sure hope so. So I look forward to hearing from you guys. I, love to hear what your feedback on it is. If this is something like maybe I can turn this into a thing where every so often I just turn it on and it's almost like a podcast almost. I should learn how to do that. Maybe I'll make this a podcast. That'd be fun. I don't know. Well, I'm really rambling at this point, so time to wrap it up. This is Randy with Dolan Cut and Trim. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this was helpful to you in some way, and hopefully I didn't make anybody mad. Have a good one.